Hello everyone, it is Evan from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, May 20th, and I'm here with a market recap video. We're going to look at some of the major indices, we're going to look at leading stocks, and then we will jump into some trade ideas for the remainder of the week. Today was Wednesday, today was Fed Day, 2 p.m. They were out with the minutes, and the market initially had a positive reaction. Had a knee-jerk reaction to the upside. It was faded a little bit, then we proceeded to push higher, and then we ended up fading back into the close. So just a lot of zigzagging action in the afternoon, but not a lot was accomplished. Basically, the structure of the market didn't change. If you look here at the S&P 500, the SPY ETF that tracks the S&P, you can see Monday we're off to a nice bullish start with this candle here. Yesterday, just chopped around, went sideways. Today, went sideways again. So not a whole lot of movement after Monday's candle. The way I'm looking at this market, I'm still very constructive. I'm still bullish. I'm still on the long side. I've been rotating around long names, and I continue to do so. We closed above 212 last week. I think that was significant in the S&P 500, and until I see that at least negated, that top momentum kind of breakout level, I'm staying, fully committed to this market on the long side. I'm not 100% invested, but I am looking at this with glass half full sort of mindset, looking for outperforming actionable long ideas in this type of tape. So, again, we are grinding. It isn't a rip-roaring takeoff to the upside, but again, I think if the market wants to stair step, if it wants to move sideways for a few days and then push higher, then so be it. I will try and take advantage of that as best I can. So I like what the S&P is doing right now. Again, I want to see 212 hold on the downside. I think as long as we're above that, then I am happy. Let's look at the small cap index, the IWM. Closed just marginally up today. Again, not a whole lot of movement. Same scenario. Yesterday didn't have a whole lot of movement, and then we closed basically flat on the day today. So we still need to get back into this 126.25 level, this previous highs up here in the IWM. So it looks to be in motion towards the previous all-time highs there. So let's see if we can continue this short-term trend on the upside. And then the Qs closed flat on the day as well, and they are above this recent 109 breakout, and they are trying to get back to these previous highs right here at 111. So very similar comments apply to these two indices that apply to the S&P 500. So let's look at a couple of other markets here. We'll jump into the bond market, TLT. You can see, again, this closed flat again. It's trying to stabilize here. You can see a lot of movement between yesterday and today, but not a whole lot getting done. This 118 to 119 level is trying to play a role here. These lines have been drawn for a while. The market is responding to them. It is a significant level that the market is dealing with right now, and we'll need to see if there is going to be a hold here, if we're going to drop below it, if it's going to be a fake out. Just needs more time. It's been a pretty violent move down to this level, so moving averages are trying to catch up. Still needs more time with TLT. So let's see what happens with it. Short-term momentum is still down in this market. USO was up a little bit today, closed below that $20 level yesterday with the gap down. Pretty much recovered a little bit today, but basically an inside day to yesterday's action. So USO looks like finally we're starting to see a little bit of a crack here. We were riding this short-term trend all the way up since mid-March, and we're finally starting to see the fast-moving averages curl over and potentially see a breakdown of this short-term trend. So USO might be interesting on the short side for the short-term traders there. UNG, similar comments here. It's been in an uptrend a little bit later. This one started at the beginning of March, made it all the way up to 1510, which was previous resistance. We would expect overhead supply to kick in right around that level. It in fact did, and now we are seeing a slight move off of that level. Still riding this upper fast trend line up here for the past month or so. So let's see what the bulls can do. I like this market above 15. I would be interested in a breakout trade, you know, something to get long natural gas if we can eventually get back above $15. So let's see. Hopefully, it can stabilize around here, go sideways, make another attempt at 15. I'd be interested in that one. Gold. You know, still kind of a mess. Same thing that we've been talking about for a while now. Needs to get above 118, 110 on the downside or so. It's just not that interesting to me. Silver, not that interesting as well. Above 17 needs to get back above here. It's just carving out bases on longer term time frames. I think it's both pretty choppy markets, and I'd rather just be other places. Before we get into some individual names, XLV, this is sort of what I was keying off of here. This is one sector. We went through a lot of the sectors in a couple of videos ago, looking at the different formations, looking what could break out, looking to see where rotation, you know, where money is sort of rotating to. XLV is one that is breaking out. 74.60 or so in this ETF was resistance. You know, we failed here back in mid-April, and it played a little bit of a role in March. So we are back above this 74.60 level. It's in motion. This looks to be like a sector that is getting some play right now. Not quite back at these highs, but looks like it's trying to get there. So that one, that's a sector I'm watching right now. Now into some individual names. Apple, we'll start there. It's still hanging around this 130 level. It's giving this area some respect, and I think, you know, as long as the market seems to be kind of stalling around here, waiting to see what happens, I think patience and just waiting to see what happens with Apple is a good idea. I'm not in this. I am watching it. It's not very actionable for me. I do like it above these previous highs, right around 130.70, something like that. Maybe it needs a little bit more time. So we'll see what happens. Apple just kind of sluggish here, moving sideways, waiting for a definitive move in that one. Netflix continues to perform, was red earlier today, recovered a lot of that action, closed nice, up almost 1% on the day. And this one just continues. It's just still a chase. I think a lot of traders either aren't involved in this, or you get shorts that are still involved in this. I'm not sure what the case is, but Netflix is just, it's off to the races here, and waiting for some type of signal. I have not gotten one. Everything I've missed in the past, so I'm not willing to chase it. I just need to see if something sets up a little better. But you know, there's clearly tremendous strength in Netflix, so you know, we'll see how much longer that continues for. Amazon looks like it tried to put in a little bit of a short-term bottom today. Was probing lower earlier today, and then it managed to close nice and green on the day, up a little over 0.5%. So you still have this gap that is being defended so far in Amazon, and this one's starting to get a little more interesting. It's you know, it's in this process of digesting this earnings gap, so I think it needs to prove a little bit more. I think back above 432, 430, that would start to get me a lot more interested in taking a long signal. Not quite ready here, but perhaps you might see some continuation off of this candle today, so keep an eye on that. Facebook, $81, that's the level I'm keying off of. I always go to a weekly chart on this one just to smooth out a lot of this recent noise. You can see it's been in a sideways range now for many months. We popped all the way up to $85. We failed or really just flagged out through the earnings release of Facebook. Now we just need to see this thing get going again. We need to see some momentum return in Facebook, and we haven't seen that in a long time. It's been a couple of days spurts here and there, but nothing that's been persisting. So just needs more time. I mean, really, if you're looking at a weekly chart, longer term, you know, you really want to see it back to $84, get above that level. So for now, I'm just waiting in Facebook. It's just not the very cleanest play for the long setups that I've seen. Twitter, this one just continues to struggle, looking really heavy still. Moving averages, fast ones, still trying to catch up to all of the to the recent selling off of their prior earnings release. I don't see too much here, if anything. you know, you could almost look to be shorting this below $36 if it did break below what could be considered major support here back from earlier this year. I don't know what's going to happen with Twitter. It just needs more time, basically. Today's session, obviously, not pretty, underperforming, and a little bit of, you know, quite the reversal from this morning's action. We had a nice pop. I know there was potentially some rumors in this, but we were trading up almost $38 before we were violently rejected, closed, you know, close to the lows. So again, it's just still not something I'm interested in one way or the other, so we'll need to see some more time there. Tesla cracking a little bit today, down a little over 1%, still very pent up, very strong uptrend ever since the beginning of April. So this one, I would like for this to cool off a little bit. Looks like we're getting a little bit of that today. I'd love to see another 2 or 3 days down, maybe sideways, to eventually get involved in a long setup in Tesla. I like this. I like the breakout that it had here back above 220 earlier this month. So let's see if I can now get on board. I like it. Looks like it needs a little bit of time here to see which way that one's going to move. Now Alibaba, this is one acted real well today. I'm long this name. I actually got involved in it yesterday, right at the end of the day, and I was fortunate. I thought I was going to get stopped out earlier this morning, but it did hold basically right where it needed to, still holding above $87 today, and then it proceeded to reverse and head higher for the rest of the session. So this one looks good. I like it. I think, you know, it could be on its way to challenge this 91.50. It's real close now given the strength that it had today. Then you get this nice big open gap that a lot of eyes are on, I'm sure. So potential gap fill in play if it can get above this $91 level. I think you're still talking, that could take some time, maybe a week or two. But for now, Alibaba looks to be in motion, and it is playing off of this earnings gap down here that was never filled. We stayed pent up, moved sideways, and now we're looking to kind of make a second move here. So I like the formation. I'm long it. Let's see if we can continue. GoPro, similar thing, up 4% today, so it's even better mover today. I'm not involved in this one, but we did talk about this quite a bit. It was looking, it had a similar look to the Baba play, but this one is working as well. It's basically closed right into this 54.50 resistance. This is where we failed here back earlier in February, held as support back at the end of 2014. So this level has played a significant role in the past and on a few occasions. Let's see if GoPro can rally above it. It's a little, getting stretched a little bit, but still this thing could certainly move. It could certainly stretch a lot further, so I wouldn't want to bet against this one right now. Let's see what happens with it. And now some other setups to take a look at. GPC, we talked about this one I think in a couple of videos ago. It's still staying pretty nice and tight right here. I haven't got a trigger on it, 94.50 above there. I think this one looks pretty interesting. It's been basing out very cleanly. Now it's really tight, so GPC's got a pretty good look to it. GE, this one, I almost took it today. I had enough long exposure on. GE looks pretty good. Take a look at a weekly chart. You can see had this monster move right here, which I suspect was earnings, digested it for a little over a month, and now it looks like it could potentially be trying to make a move again. It's been carving out right here for some time, so GE looks to be relatively in play there, so keep that one on watch. GRA is another one, chemicals play. This one trying to make a little bit of a move today. A lot of resistance at $100. I'm not involved in this one, but if you zoom out here, you can see it's been a lot of recent supply. I think it needs, $100 is going to be a big level for this name, so it looks like it's potentially in motion to go challenge that again. So keep that one on watch for the upside. BLOX, talked about this one. I am involved in this name. Not the best session today, but again, mostly flat. So, you know, we need to see if this one can reverse and head higher. Looking at the weekly chart, you know, this is a pretty significant level. This is a large open gap. Let's go back to a daily chart to see that. So if it can get back above yesterday's highs, start getting back into this gap, this one could get moving pretty quickly. But you know, you want to see this. You want to see this stay pent up, especially off of this candle, Monday's candle. You don't want to see too much given back here. So this one will be very close on my radar tomorrow. GE we already talked about. Finally, LNC. This is the last one I have for today, 59.30 or so. It's in the process of breaking out. Got to close above it today. This is the highest close it's had in let's see, all of 15 and going back. Is this an all-time high close? No, it's not an all-time high close, but it is you know, in the past 10 years or so, is probably the highest close that it has seen. So this one could get moving. It's not a very high beta name, but certainly could get a nice trending action, multi-day, multi-week move. Look at October, for example. That's quite the percentage return in a few weeks. So keep this one on watch above today's highs. I think it could continue. And it looks pretty good. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Again, if you like the videos, please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.